It was just a trip thing, but he made me feel something I haven't felt in years, she justified. So I nodded and let her pack. Now she's stranded broke in Vegas, begging for a ticket home, but I've already vanished. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account because this story still stings a bit, even though I'm way past it now. I'm 28M, and this is about my ex-girlfriend Zoe, 27F, of 4 years. We met in college, back when life felt full of promise. I was studying IT, grinding through late nights to get my degree, and she was in marketing, always the social butterfly with big dreams of traveling and building her own brand. From the start, I was all in. Loyal to a fault, you know? I saw us as a team, building something real together. We moved in together right after graduation, into this cozy apartment in our quiet Midwestern town. It wasn't fancy, but it was ours. I landed a solid job as a systems analyst at a local tech firm, stable pay, benefits, the whole 9 yards. Zoe, though, she struggled a bit at first. Entry-level gigs in her field didn't pay much, and she hated the grind. So I stepped up. I covered most of the rent, handled the bills, even picked up extra freelance coding gigs on weekends to make sure she could chase her passions without stress. You've got this, I'd tell her. Focus on what lights you up. I've got us. And she did light up. Over the years, I encouraged her to build her side hustle, a lifestyle blog about travel and self-discovery. I'd proofread her posts, help with the tech side like setting up her website, and yeah, fund a lot of it. Remember that time she wanted to attend a marketing conference in Chicago? I skipped a work retreat to drive her there myself, then waited in the hotel lobby with my laptop, knocking out code while she networked. Or the birthday surprise when I saved up for months to buy her that fancy camera she eyed. She squealed and hugged me so tight, whispering, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." Moments like that made it all worth it. I wasn't flashy, I was reliable. The guy who showed up every time. But looking back, maybe I was too reliable. Too predictable. Zoe started talking more about adventure and spontaneity. She'd scroll through social media, liking posts about exotic trips and glamorous lives, and I'd catch her sighing. "Our routine is so safe," she'd say sometimes, half joking. I brushed it off, thinking it was just stress from her job. To spice things up, I suggested we plan a vacation together, but she always had reasons why it wasn't the right time. Then, about 6 months ago, her best friends organized a girls' trip to Vegas. "It's just what I need," she said, eyes sparkling. "A break from the everyday grind." I didn't love the idea. Vegas has that wild reputation, but I trusted her. Hell, I even transferred money to her account to cover extras. "Have fun, babe. Just stay safe," I texted as she boarded the plane. She was gone for 5 days. Texts were sporadic at first. "Miss you. Cocktails by the pool." Then, radio silence for a whole evening. When she finally replied, it was clipped. "Crazy night. Talk tomorrow." I didn't push. I figured she was just hungover or busy. But when she got back, something was off. She hugged me at the airport, but it felt mechanical. Her laugh was forced. That night, in bed, she turned away early, claiming jet lag. Over the next week, she was distant, always on her phone, smiling at the screen in a way that twisted my gut. I'd ask about the trip, and she'd give vague answers. "Oh, you know, shows and slots. Nothing special." I tried to reconnect. Cooked her favorite dinner, suggested a movie night. But she kept pulling away. One evening, I noticed her phone buzzing nonstop while she showered. Curiosity got the better of me. Yeah, I know, snooping isn't cool, but the red flags were piling up. I glanced at her messages. There it was, a thread with some guy named Jake. Flirty emojis, inside jokes about that wild night at the club. Photos from Vegas, her laughing with him at a bar, his arm around her waist. And worse, recent text planning calls, him calling her my spark. My heart dropped. She'd hooked up with him there, and it hadn't stopped. I sat there, staring at the screen, feeling like the floor had vanished. For years, all those sacrifices, postponing my own career moves to support hers, like turning down a better job out of state because she wasn't ready to relocate. The late nights I'd spent fixing her blog when it crashed, or comforting her through job rejections. I'd given everything, thinking we were building a future. And now this. Betrayal doesn't even cover it. It was like she'd erased us with a single trip. I put the phone back, composed myself, and waited. I wasn't going to explode, that wasn't me. But I needed answers. The next day, I couldn't hold it in anymore. We were in the living room, her scrolling on her laptop, me pretending to work. "Zoe," I said calmly, "we need to talk about Vegas." She looked up, and for a split second, guilt flashed across her face. Then, it hardened into defensiveness. She set her laptop aside, crossing her arms. "What about it?" Her tone was sharp, like I'd accused her of something outrageous. I took a deep breath, keeping my voice steady. I saw the texts. "With Jake. The photos, the plans. You hooked up with him, didn't you? And it's still going on." She didn't flinch, didn't deny it. Instead, she leaned back, sighing like I was the one being dramatic. "Okay, fine. Yeah, it happened. We met at a club on the Strip. My friends ditched early, and he was there. Charming, fun. One thing led to another. It was just supposed to be a trip thing, a fling. But he made me feel something I haven't felt in years." I stared at her, the words hitting like punches. "Something you haven't felt? What does that even mean?" "We've been together 4 years, Zoe. I thought we were solid." She rolled her eyes, actually rolled them, and stood up, pacing a little. "Solid? Alex, come on. We're like roommates at this point. You go to work, come home, we watch TV, repeat. It's comfortable, sure, but where's the excitement? The passion? Jake, he's different. He's adventurous, spontaneous. We talked all night about dreams, travel, living big. He and I, we have a spark. A real one. I have to see where it goes." Her words twisted like a knife. "Roommates? After everything?" I felt the anger bubbling, but I swallowed it. No begging, no yelling. That's not how I handle things. "So that's it. You're justifying cheating because I'm what, too stable? I supported you through everything, your blog, your jobs, this trip I paid for. And now you're throwing it away for some guy you met in a casino." She stopped pacing, turning to me with that smug look, like she'd already won the argument in her head. "Don't make this about money, Alex. That's low. This isn't about you being bad, you're not. You're just safe. Predictable. I need more. I've been feeling stuck, and Vegas opened my eyes. Jake gets that. He's talking about me visiting him soon, maybe even moving out there. We could build something exciting. You and I, we've plateaued. It's not fair to either of us to drag it out. Hypocrisy at its finest." She used my stability to fund her self-discovery, then mocked it as boring. "Plateaued? Zoe, relationships aren't always fireworks. We built something real. Or at least, I thought we did." She shrugged, dismissive. "See? That's the twisted logic. You think real means settling. I deserve sparks, Alex. Adventure. Jake makes me feel alive. I'm sorry if that hurts, but I have to choose me." She paused, then added with a cruel edge, "Besides, you'd be fine. You're always so composed. You'll land on your feet." I nodded slowly, the decision forming. No confrontation, no outburst. Just detachment. "If that's how you feel, then go. See where it goes." Her eyes widened a bit. Maybe she expected me to fight. "Really? Just like that?" "Yeah," I said, standing up. "Just like that." I walked to the bedroom, started pulling out her suitcase from the closet. She followed, watching in silence as I calmly helped her pack. No words, no pleas. Inside, I was shattered, but I wouldn't give her the satisfaction of seeing it. That night, she booked a flight. By morning, she was gone. After she left, the apartment felt like a ghost town. Echoes of her everywhere, her favorite mug in the cabinet, the half-empty bottle of shampoo in the shower. I didn't trash it all in a rage. That wasn't my style. Instead, I methodically boxed up her leftover stuff, labeled it neatly, and stashed it in the hall closet. Then, I sat on the couch, staring at the wall, letting the silence sink in. No tears, no drunken calls to friends. Just me, processing the unfairness of it all. The first few days were the hardest. I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed, only to remember. Confusion hit hard. How could 4 years evaporate over a weekend fling? I replayed our history in my mind. Those little sacrifices that added up. Like the time her car broke down during a snowstorm, and I trudged out at 2 a.m. to jump it, freezing my ass off while she waited warm inside. Or when she lost her job last year. I tightened the budget, cut my own luxuries, and reassured her daily. We'll get through this together. She'd cry on my shoulder, promise we'd always have each other's backs. Now, she was chasing sparks with a stranger, dismissing me as a roommate. It stung, the betrayal wrapping around the emotional abandonment. I'd been her safety net, and she'd cut the ropes without a second thought. But I didn't spiral. I took a personal day from work, then dove back in. Focused on routines, gym in the mornings, which I'd neglected to make time for her schedules. I started running trails outside town, the kind with hills that burned my lungs and cleared my head. Therapy helped too. I booked sessions online, talking through the manipulation without badmouthing her. She twisted our stability into a flaw, I told the counselor. Made me feel like my loyalty was boring. It was validating to hear it wasn't me. Slowly, the vulnerability faded. I wasn't confused anymore. I was clear. This wasn't a loss. It was a dodge. I dodged a life with someone who saw commitment as settling. Weeks turned into a month. I detached fully. Changed the locks, just in case. Unfollowed her on everything. Blocked mutuals who might feed drama. No checking her blog or socials. That chapter was closed. Instead, I poured energy into me. Landed a promotion at work, senior analyst, with a raise that let me finally upgrade my setup. Bought a new desk, some plans for the apartment. Even started planning my own trip, solo, to the mountains. Friends noticed the shift. You seem lighter, one said over beers. I nodded. Turns out, being a roommate gave me room to breathe. In the quiet moments, though, the unfairness lingered. She'd publicly, well, to our circle, framed it as mutual, but whispers got back. A buddy mentioned seeing her post vague stories about new beginnings and following your heart. It felt like disrespect, erasing my role in her life. But I didn't engage. No vague booking, no rants. Dignity meant walking away clean. I sat with the pain, let it breathe, until it became background noise. By 2 months in, I was sleeping through the night, smiling at work. The arc was rising. I'd come so far from that shattered guy on the couch. Zoe. She was becoming a distant memory, irrelevant to the peace I'd built. Then, karma crept in, slow at first, like a storm building on the horizon. I didn't seek it out. It found me through the grapevine. About 3 months after she left, a mutual friend, let's call him Mike, one of the few I hadn't cut ties with, texted me out of the blue. Hey man, heard about Zoe. You okay? I replied neutrally, and he spilled. Apparently, she'd quit her job here impulsively, packed up, and moved to Vegas to be with Jake. Full commitment, Mike said. Posted all these pics of them at shows, casinos. Looked happy. I didn't pry, but bits trickled in over weeks. Another friend mentioned her blog updates, glowing posts about desert adventures and soul connections. It was ironic, her chasing that spark in a city built on illusions. Then, the cracks showed. Mike called one evening. Dude, it's bad. Jake turned out to be a total scammer. From what pieced together, Jake wasn't the charming adventurer she'd painted. He was a grifter, preying on tourists and transplants. Convinced her to invest in his business venture, some vague scheme about event planning in Vegas. She wired him most of her savings, the money I'd helped her build up. It unraveled fast. He cleaned out her account, ghosted her, and vanished. Police report filed, but good luck in a place like that. Scams are a dime a dozen. She was stranded. No job. She'd burned bridges quitting without notice. No money. Rent due on a crappy apartment she'd signed for. No support. Her friends back home? They'd stopped defending her after the truth leaked. We warned her, Mike said. But she was so smug about it. Isolation hit hard. She'd alienated our circle with her justifications, and Vegas wasn't the welcoming paradise she'd imagined. Hated the heat, the crowds, the loneliness. Her blog went silent, replaced by desperate job hunts online. It felt earned, realistic. Not some cartoon villain downfall, but consequences of her choices, ditching stability for a fake thrill, manipulating our history to justify it. I didn't gloat, just noted the irony. She discarded me like a backup plan, and now she was the one unraveled, broke, alone, in a city that chewed her up. The attempt started small, about a week after the scam blew up. First, a text from an unknown number. Hers, I guessed, since I'd blocked her old one. Alex, it's Zoe. I need to talk. Made a huge mistake. I stared at it, feeling nothing but mild annoyance. No response. Then calls, voicemails piling up. I listened to one. Please pick up. Things went wrong with Jake. He took everything. I'm stuck here. Can we just talk? I miss us. Desperation ramped up. More texts. I know I hurt you, but I was confused. Vegas was a wake-up call. You're the real deal. Then, her best friend Sarah got involved. Toxic as ever, the one who'd encouraged the trip. My phone rang one afternoon at work. I answered, thinking it was a client. Alex? It's Sarah. Listen, Zoe's in a bad spot. That guy's a creep. Stole her money, left her high and dry. She's crashing on a couch, scraping by with gig work. You need to help her. I kept my tone even. Sarah, that's not my responsibility anymore. She huffed, unpleasant edge sharpening. Oh, come on. After 4 years, you're just gonna abandon her? She said you were always the reliable one. Prove it. Send some cash, or at least talk to her. She's crying every night. Hypocrisy dripped from her words. Abandon her? Like Zoe hadn't abandoned me? She chose this path. I'm out. I hung up, blocked her too. Zoe escalated. Emails now, since texts weren't working. Alex, please. I see now how good we had it. Your stability? I took it for granted. Jake was fake, abusive in ways I didn't see coming. Yelled at me, controlled everything before bolting. I'm isolated here. No friends, no family nearby. Help me get home. No sympathy from me. Then, her family jumped in. Her mom texted from a number I didn't recognize. This is Zoe's mother. How dare you ignore her? She's your girlfriend, ex or not. You owe her after all she put up with. Your boring routine drove her away, and now she's suffering. Wire money for a ticket. Be a man. Unpleasant didn't cover it. Blaming me for Zoe's choices? I replied once. She ended us. Not my circus. Blocked. Zoe's attempts turned angry after that. A late-night voicemail. Fine, ignore me. But you're heartless, Alex. I gave you the best years of my life, and this is how you repay? Oh, me? Yeah, you do, for the emotional support, the love. Jake exposed what a fool I was, but you're worse for ghosting now. Pick up. Power reversal clear, from smug dismissal to desperate blame. Her true colors shone, manipulative, entitled. Friends who defended her initially? Silent now, the truth out. I stayed detached, no engagement. She'd become increasingly frantic, but to me, just noise. One evening, months into my new normal, the phone rang, blocked number. I answered anyway, curiosity mild. It was her, voice cracking from the start. Alex? Oh God, finally. It's Zoe. Please don't hang up. I'm begging. I'm at rock bottom, evicted yesterday, sleeping in a motel I can't afford past tonight. No money for food, let alone a plane ticket home. Jake, he ruined me. Abusive texts before he disappeared, drained my accounts. I'm alone, scared. Can you wire me enough for a flight? I'll pay you back, I swear. We can talk when I'm back. Fix things. She sobbed, the desperation raw. I know I was cruel, dismissive, but I see now. You were my anchor. I threw it away for nothing. Please, help me home. I have no one else. I listened in silence, the minutes stretching. No words from me. Her pleas filled the air. Alex? Say something. I'm sorry. Truly. Let me make it right. Click. I hung up. That was it. Changed my number the next day, vanished completely from her reach. No final speech, no closure for her. She was irrelevant now, powerless in my world. I'd built something better. Promotion, thriving, new apartment with a view, even dating casually. Someone who values stability as strength. Her betrayal? A lesson that freed me. She's a ghost from a past I don't revisit. Emotionally, I'm miles ahead, happy, whole, without her echo. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.